Hola gente, Ish here. So the holidays are around the corner and I can hear the chorus of all the people out there saying right now when it comes to shopping for men, I never know what to get my husband, boyfriend, brother, dad, etc., so on and so on. Bueno, what if I told you about the perfect gift? Huh? Well, it's the perfect jean. No, that's literally the name of the company, and they're not lying. I've been wearing their jeans for about a month now, and it's the softest and most comfortable pair of pants that have ever hugged my booty without squashing everything else. Guys, you know what I mean, right? Some of these jeans don't leave much room for the boys, do they? So when I give a pair of jeans made for men, that alleviates that crushed nuts feeling. Trust me, that is a thing we struggle with. And you can even save 25% off your first order by using promo code PERO25 when visiting theperfectjean.nyc. There's a variety of styles. You got slim fit, skinny fit, and they now have athletic fit too. So there's definitely variety to choose from. Honestly, it just sounds like the perfect holiday gifting solution to us. So don't forget, visit theperfectjean.nyc today and use code PERO25 for 25% off the perfect jean as the perfect gift for your perfectly imperfect guy.
Ho, ho, ho! Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone. The holidays are here. Yeah, 2020 is ending for better or for worse, but the holidays are here, and while we all love chestnuts roasting on an open fire, hairy chestnuts, not so much. Well, our friends at Manscaped are here to save the holidays. You know, we've only been telling you about Manscaped pretty much all of 2020, right? This Christmas, Manscaped is offering their Performance Package Bundle, the perfect gift for your favorite package. Manscaped's got all the gadgets and all the scents your guy can want. Seriously, the scent is like so good. It's fresh, it's clean. I mean, not for nothing Manscaped, but they should make like a candle or like a room odorizer or something of it. Who knows? Mira, it includes the Lawnmower 3.0 body trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, and the Crop Reviver ball toner. And if you get Manscaped's Performance Package now, they'll even toss in a pair of their briefs and travel bag. And not for nothing, their briefs are awesome. If you really want your bells jingled, use promo code PERO20 at manscaped.com for 20% off your order and free shipping handling. It's the season for the perfect gift with the perfect promo, so use PERO20 as your promo code when ordering your Performance Package Bundle at manscaped.com. Feliz Navidad, everyone. Hi, people. This is DJ.
This is Ish.
And this is Season 3 of Pero Let Me Tell You. And understand that there's things that I don't get and there's things I'm not going to subscribe to.
Right.
And, you know, and you will like it and you'll get something out of it. And that's great. That's why
right. As long as it's all above board.
I don't get motivational speakers like Tony. I don't get Tony Robbins.
I don't get self-help books.
I don't get it. So you need somebody to tell you about your inner self and how wonderful you are. And
that
all this
you have the power inside of you.
Right. And this person is making millions of dollars on that.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't get that.
I don't know, maybe if I go to one of them, I'll come out of there like, hallelujah.
Well, no, I'm sure they're very inspirational, but I guess it's just also that you and I mean, sometimes you need somebody to tell you things, you know what I mean, for it to click. But I feel like you and I are very lucky también que we have like each other. Who I think we can be just like, you know, hey, boom.
Look, I think that everybody at one point or another needs inspiration and motivation. Yeah. But I think that that's very specific to each person.
Moment.
And what they're going through.
Right.
And these like generic like, yeah, the power, you need to find the power. Well, no shit, I need to find the power within me. And no shit, I need to work hard. Yeah. Like, wow, I didn't know that. I just thought I was going to wake up one day and, you know, check my Wells Fargo app and be like,
wow, millions of dollars. Who knew?
Just, like, got there. So
I still don't understand why there's so many self-help books at the airport.
Well, with that said... Welcome to episode
138.
138.
Episode 138.
So we're gonna end in 140 for the year.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're
A
right.
nice even number.
A nice round number.
Because we have two more weeks to go
Yeah.
until our winter hiatus.
Yes, our winter break.
And we come back with season.
It's when we go to Vail. You, me, Mariah. We go to
This
Vail.
year we're not even going. Well, welcome everybody.
This
How
year,
is everybody?
This year I don't think we can even afford a Vail.
How is everybody?
Well, everybody's fine. It's Friday, and
It's Friday, pero Friday.
At this point, everybody's, if not fully in the Christmas spirit, hopefully getting closer to
Well,
it.
I think there's some people who are just not in the Christmas spirit, but anyway.
Well, no, but there's people
Did
who
you
never
hear
were.
what's making a comeback next year?
Going out.
Santa's Enchanted Forest.
It is?
It is.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, obviously this year has been a wash because this year Santa's was not
If
going
there
to
was a year for it to have a problem with its
Right,
lease,
right. It was not going to happen this year, but it was even before the COVID. They had the whole lease problem that they didn't know if they were going to renew it or what have you. So they're going to renew it?
So for those out of town listeners,
Yes.
So Santa's Enchanted Forest is this kind of carnival.
Yeah, it's a holiday carnival.
A holiday carnival that occurs at Tropical Park, and it's been occurring at least. I don't know how long, but at least for 30 years.
Yeah, because I
remember being a
kid.
little kid
Yeah.
and going to Santa's Enchanted Forest. And as I said, it's a holiday carnival, but then before you get through the carnival, you walk about, I don't know, half a mile or something through a very wooded area of the park, and it's all lit up.
Yes,
it has like a bunch of like different Christmas themed. It's actually very pretty.
It's very pretty. Very pretty.
The criticism has been that it's gotten very expensive throughout the years,
but it hasn't changed.
and it hasn't really it hasn't really evolved.
Right.
And it's like $35 a person now.
yeah.
Yeah, for like a family of four, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
For
a local carnival.
right. But anyway, Santa's Enchanted Forest has a very, very iconic jingle to it.
Yes.
So it's definitely a tradition here in Miami, and a staple here in Miami, for better or for worse.
Yeah, exactly.
And this year they got into like a problem with the park.
Well, their lease was up.
Their lease was up, and the park wanted to open that area to other potential leaseholders.
Basically, other people to come in and take.
Who the hell's gonna rent that area?
Well, yeah, they wanted somebody to see if somebody else would come in and do basically Santas, but not only the people who do
Not
Santas.
the people doing Santas,
right?
Who's
going to show up?
Like who's in line to like make this type of event? Right. Unless the Miami Dade youth, well, I still call it the youth fair. The Miami Dade Fair, but
they won't because they do a thing at Miami Park.
Oh, right.
They do a holiday thing at Miami Park, so they're not going to come in. I mean, they own the Miami Park, land.
So I mean that's crazy, but this year there was not going to be one.
And there wasn't. There isn't.
Even with COVID, despite COVID, there wasn't going to be one because of the whole lease
The other day I
issue.
passed by it, it was so sad all the lights were down.
Yeah. No, because they removed the lights because they keep the lights during the year. But it's going to be back. It made me feel better, even though I haven't gone in years.
But that's the kind of normalcy we need.
Yes.
Right? Like we need. Yes. So it's they themselves are coming back to the Tropical Park area.
Yes, that is what was reported.
So it's been hashed out, hopefully.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
So, oye, oíste que cogió la corona.
Listen, we need to protect her at all costs.
Gloria Stefan tested, mind you.
Our queen tested positive.
Daniela Levine Cava, who is the mayor of of Miami, who we love, and I think I said a couple of episodes ago when I was working with the elections, I got to talk to her several times.
Yeah, you interacted with her.
Wonderful lady.
She's come under a little bit of fire lately.
Daniela Levine Cava?
Yes, she has.
Why?
You haven't seen Billy Corben calling her out on the carpet?
No.
Apparently, she has. She's making some people part of her cabinet that are problematic. Mm-hmm. One of them, and I forget, I think it's something to do with a police officer who has a history of racial insensitivity and things like that. And, Billy Corben is kind of calling her out because her whole platform was moving forward, but she's filling her cabinet, I guess that's the word.
I did not know that.
Her cabinet with a bunch of old quote unquote people, you know what I mean, like some people who've just been around forever as opposed to looking for new faces. So she's he's a little disappointed in her of late.
But that's always controversial because even like, for example, Joe Biden, now that he's announcing a lot of his cabinet picks,
right,
there are, people have something to say about everyone.
Yeah, but
You
this
know,
but this one guy has been called up by the local chapter of the NAACP.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's
Wow, that's odd. That doesn't seem like something
Yeah.
she would do. Do you know if she's like
she put out a statement saying something to the effect of like, and again, I'm totally paraphrasing from memory here. You know, we've heard your comments. We're working with the NAACP. You know, we're going to work together to move forward. You know,
I love how Billy Corben has become like the voice of Miami.
Billy Corben's become the voice of politics in Miami.
Well, I mean, I love Billy Corben.
Hey, listen,
I love.
he's
Billy
been on the
Corben.
show, and we'd love to have him on again.
He's been on the show. Billy, come back.
Yes, come back, Billy.
Come back.
We really want to hear your views.
Pero she has a coronavirus, but what we're really talking about is Gloria Stefan.
Yes.
She tested positive for coronavirus.
Did you hear? Did you read the story of her how she first knew about it?
How?
Yeah, she's like recovering. Like she's out of the woods. So she was like, yeah, I was having lunch, and you know, it's great because it's one of those things that if it came from anybody but Gloria Stefan, I'd be like, oh, you're like being so snooty. But it's Gloria, right? I mean, she gave me her Mike and Ike's. It's like, you know, because my chef, you know, brought me my chicken one day, and you know, it didn't taste. I couldn't taste it or whatever, and I'm just like, really, Gloria, you had to say like my chef brought you, right? Mm-hmm. But it's Gloria Stefan, so we're gonna overlook it. Right. We're gonna be like, well, you know, she wasn't doing it to be snooty. She's telling the story,
right?
You know,
Gloria's not snooty.
She's not snooty at all. Again, she gave me her theater candy,
right?
Snooty people don't do that.
Well, Gloria, Daniela, and everybody else, we wish you a speedy recovery.
Yes.
So actually, speaking about this opens up the bigger conversation around the vaccine.
Yes.
So, as all of you have probably heard, there's a vaccine. Both Pfizer and Moderna have come up with a
thanks to the God-sent angel of Dolly Parton.
In part.
I'm giving her the credit. I don't care. She doesn't. She's Dolly Parton.
They're going to have the vaccine ready very soon. It has about a 94 to 95% effective rate. Right now, they're trying to figure out how they're going to distribute it, like first responders first.
Right. Gloria Stefan.
Right. You know, National Treasures.
National Treasures, exactly. Dolly Parton, Gloria Stefan.
So they expect that us mere mortals, you know, the general public or general population for it to be available in early spring, so maybe March, April.
Ahorita.
So, question to you, and you know, for our listening audience, would you take it?
So I get my flu shot every year.
Okay.
It's funny because I get my flu shot every year just because da la casualidad that my physical falls around flu season, and my doctor's always like, got your flu shot yet? No. Okay, it's covered. It's free. Boom. And I just kind of get it. I don't seek it out. I think I'd like to get the vaccine, but I don't want to be part of the first batch.
Okay,
shall we say?
What's your reservation? Just that it's novel, or
just that? Yeah, just because you know the first round of anything, you know,
it's like kind of the first generation of a phone. Or,
you took the words right out of my damn mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I might wait, like, you know, if it's available in April, maybe I wait till the summer. You know what I mean? To see how the first round of people react.
Right, but
reactions and things like that is what I'm holding out to look at. Right, but
if we take it in let's say the spring, by that time, people have already taken it. Well, millions of people would have already taken it because they're already starting to distribute it in Europe. Yeah. Because the vaccine actually came from Europe. It came from Germany. From Turkey. Turkish scientists. I think it was Turkish scientists in Germany. So millions of people would have taken it. So by the time you are probably going to be able to take it, millions of people would have taken it. So I guess there would have been side effects by that point. We would have seen stuff happen. Now, I mean, I don't know how much you've read upon it, but the survey size has been between 45 and 50,000 people. Oh, wow. So that's a very big sample size.
That's a huge sample size, yeah.
A huge sample size. So, I mean...
Yeah, it's a significant amount of...
Yes.
Right.
I would be the first in line to take it.
Really?
I don't believe in conspiracy theories.
No, for me, it's not a conspiracy theory thing. I don't... It's not. I just...
No. I believe that I believe in our systems of...
protocols and
yes, I believe in the FDA, and if it's approved by the FDA,
it must be okay.
Right. Yes,
right.
Yes.
Well, you know, there's something on the table now. I think one of the senators has proposed a stimulus package, but tied it to the vaccine. So it would be if you get the vaccine, you get, I think it's $1,500.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
No?
No, because while I believe that everybody should take, I believe in taking it. I also believe it's your choice. I do believe in the choice, even if I disagree with you.
Okay, but do you think that if you take it, you yourself, for instance, you're going to take it regardless, right?
Yeah.
So if they create a thing where it's like an incentive for you to take it, why not?
Well, if it's an incentive, but I mean, I think the stimulus package should be passed regardless. And they need to pass another stimulus package, but that's a conversation for another day.
Eso están dando vuelta.
Pero, tú sabes cuando se va a formar el show sobre la vacuna y se va a formar bien formado.
¿Cuándo?
Se va a formar bien formado. When a certain amount of time has passed and, millions of people have already taken it, and now being vaccinated is a requirement for certain things
like school,
going on a cruise, going to school, certain places of employment, that being vaccinated is a requirement. Ahí donde las cosas van a poner. Ahí donde el show va a empezar.
You think that's going to be the case? For
For
school, yes, because I mean, kids have to get vaccinated to go to school. But
think about the anti-vaxxers.
No, but I'm sorry. Do you think that workplaces will require you to be vaccinated?
Of course they will.
But
they're private. What people forget when people start like
the free
First
speech,
Amendment right, free speech. What people forget, boo-boo, is that applies only to the government.
Right, a private entity.
A place of employment can tell you...
Unless you work for the government.
Unless it's not discrimination,
Right.
Like a form of discrimination. Right. They could tell you what... That's why there's uniforms, right? That's why they're
okay, true. That's why there's codes of conduct.
Do that. Okay, I remember when I started FIU, and FIU's a public school, I had to take a measles shot because I had never taken the measles shot. Right, and I had to go to the clinic and get measles. Why? Because
you had never taken the measles shot?
For whatever reason, I had never taken the measles shot. At that time, I don't know if it still is, it was a condition to enrollment.
Right.
So all these, and that's a government.
But when you travel to certain countries, even before all this COVID stuff, there were certain countries where it's like to come in, you had to take.
I could just see that, like to go on a cruise, especially, you have to get your shots. You know. Prepárate con el show. Prepárate the people being like, the government can't make me do this, and it's my privacy, and it's my choice, and blah, 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 which it is.
It's fine.
Which it is.
You have every right in the world not to do it.
If you don't want to get the vaccination for whatever reason,
don't get it.
Don't get it. But when they start to mandate it, and you can't do certain things because please don't bitch and complain.
Como es que tú dices, you can be the biggest racist in the world, but there's gonna be ramifications for it. You know what I mean? Like,
you have a right to be racist.
Be the biggest one possible.
Yeah.
However.
But when people start calling you out,
right.
And, saying you suck as a human being,
right.
Bueno, boo-boo. You asked for it.
Te la buscaste. I'm sorry. Exactly.
Pero ahí I'm going to hacer a tremendo show.
Right.
To go to Santa's Enchanted Forest.
Vas a tener la vacuna.
Vas a tener que tener la vacuna.
Listen, if I need to have la vacuna in order to start going again to like concerts and movies and theme park. I went to a theme park already.
Concerts and big.
But I'm saying, but to do things
that I think that's going to come later. But I could certainly see something like a cruise. That it's a confined amount of people in an industry that is bleeding right now. Yeah. And think about it. If
the other day on NCL, have you seen the commercials?
What?
For NCL cruises, It's like 30% off plus open bar plus free free this. Jose was like, but ahorita they're gonna pay me to go on the ship.
No, but the cruise line,
and they just moved back
Carnival is losing $1 billion a month.
I believe it.
That's why Carnival had to sell 13 ships and scrap them. They're not even selling them; they're scrapping them because they need liquidity.
More money there.
They need money.
Yeah, there's more money there.
And I could certainly see like a hotel.
Yeah.
To stay at this resort, you need to be vaccinated.
Like a sandals.
To go on this cruise, you need to be vaccinated. Mm-hmm. Even to go on an airplane. Like, I could see that happening. And that's when
I'm not opposed to that being a requirement to go on the airplane. Because
these anti-vaxxers are going to... And you know what? I'm sorry, listening audience. If you're an anti-vaxxer, specifically an anti-vaxxer for children...
We have
just the thing is, again,
we have thoughts.
I don't know if maybe it's my training, as an law that I only move forward on evidence.
Right.
So
right.
I don't believe something if there's no evidence. I'm just not. Especially something like science. And the fact that, with anti-vaxxers, the only thing that showed there was a link to autism was a study that was not true by a doctor who faked the results, by a doctor who is actually ended up in jail for faking the results. That's been the only proven. Well, that wasn't proven. That
Right,
was
that was the only presented evidence.
Presented evidence, which wasn't evidence. There's been no other evidence, none that has shown a link to autism, and yet people go off the rails about like that.
Yeah.
And it's something, I mean, I know this is a very controversial subject, but, in terms of vaccinations, like, because I have a kid and I when Tristan needed to start getting vaccinated, I spoke to his doctor and I'm like, because, they get a lot of vaccinations at once.
Yeah.
Right. So I asked him, I'm like, this is a very controversial subject.
What's your stance? Yeah.
Do we need to vaccinate him all at once, or, they do it within certain milestones,
right.
But do we need to like fill him up with all these vaccinations, all at once,
right.
At this pace? And he explained it to me, and he's like, I treat my patients the way I treat
my kids.
And he is a doctor, so that's why I'm going to a doctor, because he's the expert in that.
Right.
So I believe him more than the mommy chats on on
the mommy blogs, yeah.
But again, what do I know?
No, you don't know anything, Darian, because QAnon. I don't know.
QAnon, right? No evidence.
No evidence.
There's no evidence. But we're gonna believe.
But we're gonna believe it because
Well, who needs facts and evidence? There's no evidence of voter fraud, pero bueno, let's not get into that conversation because we'll be
never mind that the Attorney General even said that.
Yeah, no, pero bueno.
That's time for another day.
Let's keep it lively.
Let's keep it lively. So, not on the topic of vaccinations, but kind of following that that route, if you will. Movie theaters. You were saying that the cruises have been.
Espérate, que León Medical Center va a ser el primero que va a tener la guaguita te va a venir a buscar a la casa.
La guaguita de
COVID.
COVID.
You the COVID vaccination treatment.
It's gonna be like a tour.
Las viejas van a ir a peluquería en León. Los viejos van a ir a jugar dominó, and they're gonna make a whole day out of it in León Medical Center.
Can I go? Can I go? I want to make a day out of it.
It's gonna be called the COVID vaccination experience.
El día de la corona.
El día de la corona. Y salen los viejitos de León Medical Center con una coronita así, and they're like, ay, no, nos vacunamos para la corona.
Okay, León, call us. We can make this happen. We can coordinate, partner on this. Totally, for sure. This is a thing. But no, like I was saying, with movie theaters, they're bleeding left and right as well. Did you hear that Warner Brothers just recently made the announcement that in 2021, they're going to, for at least the first month that a movie is released in theaters, it will also be streamed at no additional cost on HBO Max.
Okay.
Do you think that that's basically like it'll run for 30 days? Then after that, it'll still be available in the theaters.
Okay.
But not on the streaming service. So
now, when you say that it'll be running on HBO Max, will it be kind of like a pay-per-view thing, or
at no additional cost? So it's not going to be like Disney Plus did with Mulan,
right?
Where they charge you an extra $30. This, like Wonder Woman, for instance. Wonder Woman's coming out on Christmas Day in theaters and on HBO Max, included with the price of your subscription. So you don't have to pay anything extra. Do you think that is like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, because on the one hand, like, I love going to the movies. I know you love going to the movies. There's certain movies that you want to go and experience on the big screen and all that. But do you think that this model, because nowadays people can just basically have a home theater, you know what I mean? Like, you can set up a big ass TV and your speakers and everything. Do you think that this is just gonna make people subscribe more to HBO Max and I don't want to say kill the theater,
I think that maybe in the short term. Maybe it
until
will.
We have the vaccine.
I think maybe in the short term it will. And I think there's certain movies, like maybe a Wonder Woman or something like that. These like very franchised,
right? The summer blockbusters
that they're always going to have a summer audience. But I think that people that enjoy, because going to the movies is an experience.
Yes,
and I. Like for example, James Bond. I'm a Bond head. Yes. I'm that's the franchise I'm into. James Bond, like all these other movies, has been postponed already 3 times. You know, it was supposed to come out in the spring, then the summer, now the fall, now it's coming out next year. And that is a movie that I want to see in the theater. Now, if I have no other option and I have to go see it at home, I'll do it. But that is a movie that I anticipate going to the theater to watch. So
See, that's how I feel about Wonder Woman, but I'm like, I'm totally gonna watch it on Christmas Day. I mean, I just am. Like, I know myself.
Well, yeah, because it's going to be right there. Do you have HBO Max?
I do not, but Jose,
I do.
Jose does.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I was like,
but thank you.
I mean, yes, I think there's people who are. I think that for the short term,
because right now we're in a situation where
probably work. But even the movie theaters have kind of, like many other industries, have kind of. A lot of movie theaters have shut down and we're in the decline. I think there's always
AMC's in horrible dire straits.
Well, but even before COVID, I think there's always going to be a percentage of people that will prefer the movie theater.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I prefer it, but
because if you notice,
but I prefer it, but I also there's certain like about
but
going
if
to
you
theater.
notice, movie theaters, this is before COVID, have become more and more niche. Like even AMC here in Miami, AMC where the Palace, well, it's still the Palace, the old AMC Palace.
Yeah.
That's like a huge movieplex. They completely redid it now.
Yeah,
There's a bar. Have you been to it?
Once since they redid it.
There's a bar, and then that one has like the reclined seating, and then they have a couple of movie halls that have like the seats that move and all that.
Yeah.
So I think they're becoming more niche and more for different audiences, like Cine Bistro, you know, it's not for kids.
Right.
And I absolutely love Cine Bistro. I know it's very expensive.
Right. But your movie going experience is going to be.
But that is something I enjoy.
Right.
So, like the one in the Gables.
Well, the one in
Merrick Park.
In Merrick Park, yeah, that's one we go to.
You know, that has a bar and a restaurant. And so I think it's becoming more niche depending on who you are. Or what movie you're going to see. But I think there's always going to be a percentage of people that are going to prefer the movie theater. I mean, certainly. And, you know, as far as having a home theater, I mean, you can make the argument that that's not new because the home theater setup, if you will, has existed for quite some time now. And if rentals now with like DVDs or Blu-rays or even VHSs back in the day, if you notice, in the past 10 years, the time that a movie was in the theater to the time that it would come out on home,
it's like 2 months.
It's like right away.
Yeah.
Whereas before you would have to wait. And
I'm pretty sure
that.
the first Batman was in theaters for like a good year and a half before that video came out.
Bueno, see, I remember that Titanic did not come out on video until Christmas of the following year. But también Titanic was in the theater for like a year.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the exception.
But nowadays they wouldn't have done that. Nowadays they would have released it on home video and then re-released it
before the Oscars or something.
Right, on theater as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, I just, that whole model is changing because now with like the golden age of television, which by the way, have you been watching The Crown?
We binged the entire last season.
Okay, I'm on episode 7.
In North Carolina.
Okay, let's talk about Gillian Anderson.
Okay,
do you know that? Okay, did you know she was Brit? She's British, but not British.
She was born in Britain.
No, she was born in the U.S., but she was raised in London for 10 years. She lived in London 10 years.
Okay, I know she didn't spend her whole life there. I knew it was like one of those back and forth things.
She lived in London for 10 years. That's why she has like an American-British accent.
Yeah, it's like a genuine Madonna thing. Right? Like, honestly, when I'm watching her...
Okay, so audience, have you guys watched The Crown?
Excuse me. The Crown on Netflix. It is so good. Watching Gillian Anderson, I was like... Wow, mira que esta mujer has come a long way from Agent Scully.
You know what I like about The Crown is that you can watch each season as a standalone.
Yeah, you don't have to know about
because,
the previous.
For example, I haven't watched season 3.
Me neither.
But I'm watching season 4, and it's like maybe because you know.
Yeah, we've been alive during it, so it's kind of like we'll catch up. We'll be fine. We'll catch up.
Yeah. But it's so good. Honestly, though, this season. So if you haven't,
this
watched
is the Diana
Crown,
season.
You need to watch The Crown. It's that good. I I'm not living for the Diana scenes. I'm living for the Margaret Thatcher scenes. Like Margaret what the scenes with Margaret Thatcher and the Queen.
Ella me saca de quicio.
What the?
Because she's so like, just like, like she's so like, oh.
Well, that's how she really spoke.
No, not even the voice, but she just seems so like rigid. Like,
Well, with Margaret Thatcher.
well, it's the Iron Lady. Yeah, that's true. This is true.
Como se llama?
Fair enough.
Those are the scenes that I'm like, I love. It's so funny because like,
I love to watch Helena Bonham Carter.
But this season is less about her.
Yeah, but
than last season.
she's just
No, she's great. You heard all the controversy with the show now this season?
no.
Well, because this season, since it's more like the season starts in 79 and it ends in 90, so because it's more recent events,
Right.
and more events that we all remember or people that lived through, they're saying how Netflix should put a label in front of every episode saying that this is not a storytelling, a historical,
Like it's not
accurate historical account of,
like it's not a documentary.
these events. It's not a documentary, right?
Right,
That
which
they
is why you have Helena Bonham Carter, because it's not a documentary.
No, but saying that these are not historically accurate events. That it's
dramatized and
inspired by it. It's funny because every time that they go, like, I was watching an episode yesterday when they did the tour of Australia.
oh yes,
And every time they'll go to an event, I would look it up. Charles and Diana in Tasmania, and Google it and see what they were wearing to see if it matches.
no, it's authentic.
I wonder what it is about, because I really think of, like, I've stopped to really think about it. What it is about them in particular.
Charles and Di.
No, about the Royals,
the
the Windsors. You know, what it is about them that fascinates people so much, because count me in. Like, because I've always,
because there's other royal families that
for me,
nobody cares about.
I've always cared about the history of the monarchy because I love history.
Right, but there is a royal family in Spain.
Right.
No, we're not obsessed with them.
Pero en España hay tremendo lío también con los royal family. You know that the king had to leave.
He did?
Juan.
¿Qué pasó?
The king, the father's, Juan had to advocate, and his son became king. But he had to leave Spain porque they caught him that he had taken millions and millions of dollars in, like, it was something with gambling and no sé qué. I don't know the specifics.
Tremendo bayou.
Yeah, but he had to leave the country. And him and his wife aren't together. La Reina Sofia.
They're just like, I'm going to marriage in name only type of thing.
They're not together. Like, she doesn't live with him. Like, ella se quedó en España, que se vaya.
Esas son las cosas que Morrissey points to and says, you see.
Right, but back to the Windsors. Well, in terms of American, I get why Americans are into the British monarchy. Because, that's where we come from. It's, we don't have a monarchy, but that's
it's technically our king and queen, technically.
Yes, technically.
If we hadn't,
there was a little war called the Revolutionary War
that whole thing. But if we were Canada, that would still be our king and queen.
Yes. But like the fascination around it, I just think it's archaic, but at the same time, it's
the fairy tale.
Oh, see, I don't see it that way.
But that's the thing, is when you think of kings, queens, princesses, it's wrapped up in this like Disneyfication, and then to see the real life version of that also does not always end in the fairy tale.
I don't see the Disneyfication of it.
Oh no.
Oh no. When Meghan Markle, because I loved Meghan Markle.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, when she started
dating
twist,
Harry, I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
I couldn't be one of those people.
Yeah,
I couldn't enter into that world knowing full well.
Yeah.
You give up your life.
You give up your life in the name of duty.
You give up your life.
And they have to be neutral. They can't have opinions. Like,
I can't have an opinion? I mean, come on.
They wouldn't have a podcast.
That's probably why Harry and Meghan are the only people in the world who don't have a podcast now. Oh, hey, every time I turn around, a new celebrity has a podcast.
Yeah, but we were first.
We were one of the first.
So, anyway.
Have at it.
The Crown, everybody, streaming on Netflix.
Yes. Oh my God. Wait, before I say that. So I was telling you, I binged it because I was up in North Carolina. I was up in the cabin or whatever. I was in Helen, Georgia. Tiny little town. Population of, I think, 400.
That's the German one, right?
Yeah. Population like 400 people.
I've been there a few times. It's very German.
Very German. I was waiting for Jose. He was using the bathroom. I was waiting.
You know, strudel.
I did have a strudel. It was very yummy. He was using the public bathroom. So I'm standing there, whatever, and I hear two people speaking Spanish. And speaking Spanish. And I turn to them and I'm like, I'm sorry, but you guys are from Miami, right? And they were like, sí, no, nosotros somos de Hialeah. And I'm like,
and Helen, Georgia.
I'm like, you know what? That accent, baby, like,
So
como dice Lucy Lopez, it's candy.
So to our listeners, so Helen, Georgia is probably like, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours outside of Atlanta. It's really in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, nothing.
In northern Georgia. Like, literally, you drive woods.
La recogida de
and you get
montaña
to Helen, Georgia. Let me tell you about Helen, Georgia. So Helen, Georgia looks like a land in Disney World.
In Epcot.
Or in Epcot.
Like in Epcot.
Like a Bavarian German town. And it's real. Like, it's real. They have a beer house spelled with an A.
Yes, with the EI.
Yes.
Beer house.
Yes. And they have like a Christmas store. And
El arbolito was so pretty.
And what I think is really funny, so the first time I went there, it was hilarious because they were cutting down a tree. And, you know, there was this man up,
Right.
you know.
A lumberjack.
And he was wearing a red flannel shirt. And I'm like, oh my God, this is real.
It exists.
It exists. And again, it's like you drive hours, it's all wooded, and all of a sudden,
It's this little
you
German
bump into
town.
this German little town. And everything is German and German looking and Bavarian architecture. It's you think you're Munich.
You're in Germany all of a sudden.
It's very
in the
Munich.
deep south.
It's like Munich, Germany.
Yeah.
That's why I say Bavarian.
Yeah, but in the middle of the south.
Yes. Yeah, but you're in
the middle of
you're in Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, you could have some strudel, and then an hour and a half later, you have some country fried chicken.
Exactly.
So,
Llegaron la Navidad, which means cooking all of our favorites like lechon, tamales, pasteles, pernil, todo más rico. Well, thanks to Loisa Seasoning, you can do it organically and give back. Founded and owned by Hispanics with both Dominican and Peruvian backgrounds, Loisa Seasonings are certified organic, non-GMO, y hasta they're vegan. With no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives, it's all about el sabor, mi gente. That goes for their sazón y adobo, as well as their newly introduced garlic powder, paprika, sea salt, and cinnamon. But more than just feeding tradition, Loisa Seasonings also gives back. Every month, 2% of sales is donated to organizations fighting for social justice and greater equity in production and distribution of food to empower underserved communities. And it's always a local organization so that the money goes, even further. So if you're looking for the flavor you love with a social conscience, visit Loisa, that's LOISA.com today and complete your culinary botanica. Oye, mi gente, just because we're working from home doesn't mean we have to stop taking care of our skin. Bueno, our friends at M Skincare have created products made for us men who barely have 5 minutes to take care of our skin. M Skincare's 5-minute morning products, from triple action gel face wash to all-day serum to the daily defense hydrating lotion, is a full skincare routine for men that leaves your face clean, toned, protected, and hydrated. Look, I loathe extensive morning routines, and I can tell you from personal experience with M Skincare's products, it really does only take 5 minutes, and it's even a great defense against maskne. Their triple action gel face wash doesn't just wash, it's a scrub, so it gets all up in those pores and just cleans them all out. And the all day serum, a little of that helps heal damage from the elements, like the horribly punishing sun us Miami men know too damn well. But my absolute fave is the Daily Defense Hydrating Lotion. I usually hate lotion because I have really oily skin, so it just adds to it. But that is not a problem with M Skincare's Hydrating Lotion. It keeps my skin looking younger and firmer. Más que, I'm a man of a certain age. Even better than skincare products specially tailored for men is getting a discount to try them. That's right. Just visit that's M like men, skincare.com/pero and get a great discount on all these products. Así que whether as a holiday gift or a gift for yourself, every man deserves healthy skin,
and M Skincare is the perfect and quickest way for us guys to get it. So don't forget, that's mskincare.com/pero for great skincare.
Okay, so
yeah,
something
I just had to say
I
that.
wanted to switch gears on
Okay.
because I don't know. This is like a little thing that it's one of those things that I always notice, and they kind of annoy me. And I think that if they annoy me, they probably annoy other people. So since the year is ending now it's when people on social media start posting like their lists.
Like the best stuff.
Like the best of the pictures on Instagram that got the most likes.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. In my personal feed, DJ Borges19 on Instagram, I've been inundated with people posting their top Spotify artists.
Yes, which, by the way, thank you everyone who listens to us on Spotify. We actually grew this year, 100% new listenership in Spain.
In Spain.
We are listened to across, I think it's like 22 countries. You guys, I have all of the numbers. I'm actually going to post it in the next couple of days. But thank you guys for listening. Our subscribership has grown on Spotify, so keep it up.
Well, now that you gave the plug. Okay, so this is what I have to say about that. So I don't know. Again, in my feed, I was like, I don't know if this...
It just came out this week.
It
That's
came out
why.
this week.
It just came out this week.
Every feed I had was like people's top Spotify stuff, right? And it tells you like the top 5 artists and the top 5 songs you listen to, how many minutes you listen,
top
and
podcasts, and so
like
on.
all this data. What I thought was really interesting, and I find that this happens every year, that at least the people that posted, it's like, remember back in the day when we used to laugh when the Spice Girls were in their heyday? That the Spice Girls would sell like 20 million albums, but nobody bought a
Right.
Nobody that I was like, I don't listen to Spice
I don't listen to Britney
But somehow
Spears.
they
I don't
were
listen
selling
to
20 million albums. And we used to joke. I'm like, this is like crack, you know? Like there's people who take it, but they don't.
But nobody
admit
says it, right?
Okay, so what I find interesting with these Spotify lists is that everybody that posts these lists, like their top 5 people, are like these random people that I have never heard of. Right?
Okay.
And
are you just looking at Jose's list?
And listen, I consider myself pretty knowledgeable in the world of music, right? I know who people are, even if I don't listen to them.
Right,
I know,
you've heard of them.
Because I've always loved music and, that whole, world. And I look at this stuff and I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me that like Taylor Swift, whose Folklore album sold like 5,000 million copies, nobody listened to Taylor Swift? The Weeknd, who, whatever, won every award there was the other day at the AMAs. Nobody listened to The Weeknd. Who else was in this year? Justin Bieber had like a big album.
Yeah, he did have a big album.
Nobody, no. So you mean to tell me that XYZ slash
Charlie XCX
is your number one listen?
Oh, but remember that's just one person.
No, this was like 100 people.
Right, but I mean, we're talking about 100 out of the scope of how many that are on Spotify.
No, but what I'm saying is
that none of them showed up.
That all of the people, what I'm starting to think is that people who like listen to more mainstream, singers, probably don't care to post their list.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
And then the people who
it's like, look how indie I am.
Right. Look how exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I started looking through them, and I'm like, I don't know half of these people. And again, I know music pretty well, even if I don't listen to that person.
Well, our top listened to act on, but let me tell you, was one of the last guests we had on COVID. Domino Saints was actually our biggest listened artist and song.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, they're legit.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. We love you guys. So,
bueno, after we interviewed Domino Saints, they became. I like legitimately downloaded them. A la Buena is in my heavy rotation.
That was our most listened to song.
A la Buena?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's so
there we
good.
go.
It's so good.
That one's like heavy. Like I could show you my personal one.
I believe you.
It's heavy on it. So I just thought it was worth mentioning, because I'm like, if this annoys me, this must annoy other people.
But I think it's what you said. It's the people who are posting are like what I call the theater kids, right? Yeah. Those people who were in like school were just like, I'm just so much cooler than this. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
because that's what
it's
I was
those
thinking.
kids.
I mean, I still read Billboard magazine. I know like charts
what's going
and stuff
on,
like that, right? So you mean to tell me that Taylor Swift And I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift,
Right,
but you mean to tell me
facts
that
are facts.
Chiquita, sold, or even BTS, that
Right.
sold 1 quadrillion albums. Nobody listened to BTS. Nobody listened to Taylor Swift. Nobody listened to,
Right.
The Weeknd. Nobody listened to none of these people who are somehow selling millions of albums.
Right.
And have millions upon millions of streams. No, but they're on nobody's
They're not on
top
nobody's list.
Spotify list.
Well, the good thing is that on most of those cool kid lists, I guarantee you Dua Lipa was on there. So,
But Dua Lipa's pretty kick-ass.
I love Dua Lipa.
Did you see her performance on Graham Norton?
No.
I'll have to show it to you before you. Love her. I love Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa.
I'm so upset because she released an album and she would have toured.
Well, she did that thing.
The 2054 thing.
Yeah,
she did it with
haven't
Kylie.
I haven't
Kylie
seen
was on
it. She's one of It's funny because her first song.
She was a featured.
Or one of her first songs. I got rules. I got
New Rules, yeah.
That song to me.
I really like that song.
When somebody new comes out,
Mm-hmm.
I always think, can this person have longevity?
Mm-hmm.
I always think, how can
Anybody, quote unquote, can have a hit song.
right? Can
One.
this person have longevity? You know what I mean?
What's
For
what's
example,
what's a third album gonna
this
look
girl
like?
that's really hot now, Doja Cat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I look at her and I'm like, is this girl gonna have this huge career and her name is Doja Cat? These are the things that I think about, But then again, you can make the argument about Lady Gaga,
Right.
That
Right.
she has a silly name and look
And
at
look
her
where we
now.
are, yeah.
I start thinking about that. I'm like, can this person have a long career?
Right.
And I necessarily didn't get that vibe from Dua Lipa with that song.
Okay.
'Cause to me, it sounded unoriginal, nothing special.
It didn't stand out to you.
Right. But then as she started releasing more music,
Don't lie, it was her Grammys performance with
It kind of was.
Con esta mujer, I can't think of her name right now. Con
St. Andrew? No,
Saint
St. Vincent.
I was gonna say Saint Victor.
Yeah, so Dua Lipa and St. Vincent did a duet in the Grammys last year.
Was
And
it
I
last
think
year?
Yeah, it was in 2019. Yeah. It
Oh my
seems about
god, I thought it
5,000
was like 80 years ago.
For about 4 minutes, I was a lesbian.
I
For
think,
about 4 minutes, we were all
I
lesbians.
think we were all lesbians for 4 minutes, for those 4 minutes.
Well, she has a new video with Miley.
Oh, that's right, because they have a song on Miley's new album.
Yeah, which is kind of lesbian. So, for 4 minutes,
We were all
we were
lesbians.
all lesbians.
We were all just a collective Ellen. We were a collective Lilith there.
But you know what's funny? I actually saw that performance yesterday again.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, it's so hot. It's so hot.
Such a hot performance. I'll
'Cause they
fight
have,
anybody who says
they had chemistry.
it's because it's sexy and it's not forced, overt and forced. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
You know how I
Dua
feel
Lipa.
about fake lesbians.
Dua Lipa. I gotta say, beautiful people come from that part of the world. Kosovo, Lebanon.
Yeah.
Lebanese people. Can we talk about how hot Lebanese people are? It's crazy.
It's up there with Australia.
Yeah.
Australians are all attractive.
I don't like blonde.
Okay, but aside from
Yeah, I
that, but
get
they're all
it, I get it.
attractive.
I get it. Yeah, they are.
Like genetically modified or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, who are examples Kylie
Minogue.
is cute, Hugh Jackman, hello,
Olivia Newton-John,
beautiful,
Naomi Watts, Nicole Kidman. Well, Nicole Kidman is a fake Australian.
Yeah, and so is Mel Gibson.
So is Mel Gibson. I don't know, the entire cast of Neighbours.
Yeah.
Natalie Imbruglia. I'm just going to start naming people who were on Neighbours. Julian McMahon. Isla Fisher was on Home and Away. Who else? I don't even know.
So are you going to watch, it hasn't premiered yet as of the recording of this episode, the All I Want for Christmas Is You special?
on Apple TV?
Yeah.
I don't have Apple TV.
I have it. So now you have it.
So now I have it. So I guess I will. I mean, why not? It's Christmas. Listen,
No, I'm going to watch it because
I know
it's
you're
Mariah.
gonna watch it.
It's Mariah, but I got to tell you that from the previews.
it's just like a holiday special.
Yeah, it's too festive even for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's super festive.
Well, remember in a trailer they have to put it all in.
That's true, but it's super festive. I'm oh, tone it down a little bit.
Have you seen Dolly's Christmas on the Square on Netflix?
No, but I would love to.
It's the cheesiest, most wonderful thing in the world. It opens up with her playing a homeless person.
She was on Dolly Parton was, I don't know, on the Today Show or something last week. There's just something about her that you just watch her, whether it's speaking or singing, and you just feel okay.
The biggest sense of calm I think I've ever had in my life was at her concert.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what?
Not at her theme park because I almost passed out.
This is true.
Who was gonna
But
say?
even still, you handled that very calmly.
I did. I was like, guys, I need to sit down.
Like, if it had been at Disney, there probably would have been a little more alboroto.
So, audience, I think we've said the story here in the podcast.
I think
before.
so.
Some years back, we went to, a whole group of us, we went to Dollywood in Pigeon Forge. And, it's actually, Dollywood, the theme park, is a lot bigger than what a lot of people realize.
Yeah,
it's like a full-blown theme park.
Legit, yeah.
And it's beautiful.
I think it has one of the roller coasters have won awards and everything.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. But the theme park is high on top of the Smoky Mountains. Pigeon Forge, as it is has a very high elevation.
Yeah.
And the theme park is even higher. And on the day that we went was like the hottest day on
In
Earth.
like July.
Yeah, in like July. It was like 159 degrees that day.
In the
And
shade.
It was super sunny. And we were on top of the mountains. And they were giving out free water at Dollywood.
Because it's Dolly Parton, of course she gives you free water.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah, tú estabas mal.
This is what heat stroke is.
Tú estabas mal. You got off that roller coaster, and I've known you for as long as I've known you, and you changed colors.
I was like, whoa, this is what heat stroke
yeah,
is.
it was like, no está bien.
I was like, we need to sit down in air conditioning.
Traemos una agua gratis.
Because if I fall, there's going to, like, 10 Dollywood people are going to have to bring me back up.
It's going to take all the power of Dolly
Oh,
to get you up.
Dolly would have come out. She'd be like, yo, what's going on here? You're like, Dolly?
You know, she probably could have lifted you up by the power of Dolly.
By the power of Dolly.
Power of Dolly.
And then they have her shack that she lived in.
Yeah, they recreated her
Is
childhood.
it the real one?
I don't know if it's the real one or
What's
if it's
the name of that song? The Joseph Technicolor Coat of Many Colors?
Coat of Many Colors.
Okay.
Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat is a musical which at one point starred Donny Osmond.
Oh, no. Those people.
Coat of Many Colors is by Dolly Parton.
Yes, I like that song.
That's a beautiful song.
That she's like, my mom cut up a piece of no sé qué.
It was somebody
colors.
had brought her mother a box full of rags and she made a coat for
Many
Dolly.
colors.
Of many colors.
I think she gave it to Jolene.
Yes, she did. As one does.
That's what I'm done.
As one does.
That about sums up our week.
That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Yeah, it's
I've
like
been 4 days putting up a Christmas tree, but there's just so much. There's so much. It's bringing it down from the garage, putting up the tree, finding the tree. I went to like 5 tree. I'm very
because it's a real tree.
Yes.
I didn't notice.
just saw it.
I didn't notice.
I don't like fake trees.
My fake tree está lo más lindo.
Well, my fake tree is very nice, but I went to like 6 places. And it's funny because I was talking to Stephanie from Mama's Merlot about it. And I gave her a warning. I told her, in Home Depot, you're going to find a twig. In Lowe's, you're going to find un otro gajo. Because I went to like 6 or 7 places. No, I found it on my 6th place.
Okay. Coño.
And because I kept finding trees. First of all, I like tall trees. They have to be at least 8 feet.
Well, I mean, you have the space for it, yeah.
And I like them wide and really heavy.
Sturdy.
It sounds like a dating profile.
I know. It's just like, so I like them wide and sturdy. Okay, then.
And
with lots of ornaments.
Yes, and a real distinct smell of balsam.
Yeah. But not an overpowering scent.
No. And I just couldn't find it. And I went to like a bunch of places and I'm like, pero qué es esto? Te están cobrando $70 por un gajo.
Okay, it's expensive.
If I'm going to pay that amount of money,
you're going to get a good tree.
Right.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to the church next to Target on Kendall Drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, churches usually have good trees.
They do.
Yeah.
They do, actually. And you know what? Then that's like shopping small and local. So go buy from them.
So, and they had like a flat rate. Mm-hmm. You pick the tree you want. They're all the same.
Is the tree situation better now than it was, I think, last year?
This is why I think the trees are crappy.
Oh, okay.
Because
that's why we have the...
Usually you could get a...
That's why we have that espantapájaro in Rockefeller Center?
Yes. And then there's one in Indianapolis, which is even worse. Let's have a holly Merry Christmas.
Okay, el arbolito de Charlie Brown looks great next to that one.
Yeah. So fun times. So, bueno, 2 episodes left of the year.
Yes.
What a year it's been.
It is. But you know what would make, before we go into our sodas, you know what would make it a good way for you guys to ring out the years? By giving somebody you love a unique gift, i.e. one of our shirts. It's end of the year. And so, you know, we've got our shirts. We've got our Lechon Life in gray and black. We've got our Sereno. We've got our De Miami. And if you use the code Lechon, you can get 15% off. So go ahead and check that out. Shameless plug. I don't care.
Well, it's our podcast.
It's our podcast. You know what? We're trying to move some merch. So move away. So do you have your last soda?
You could go first.
All right. So I am going to give my last soda to Alejandro Mayorkas. Do you know who Alejandro Mayorkas is?
Refresh my memory.
So he is actually, I believe he's an attorney from California, Cuban, born in Cuba. His parents immigrated to this country when he was but a wee child or what have you. And he has now been nominated by Joe Biden to be the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So, you know what? Look at us guys, you know, us Cubans, Cuban Americans, you know, moving up in the world, you know, being part of the cabinet. And it's part of a cabinet that is very looking to shape up to be very diverse. So I just figured, you know, give a little shout out to our fellow Cowiche.
That's pretty high. Like, you know, that's a very
prestigious, you know, position. I mean, it's.
So I'm actually going to give my
to the Heifer Corporation. See what I did there?
You see what you did? So I'm going to give my last soda. It's weird. It's more of something I want to bring
attention to.
Okay. I don't know if you saw it on the news, but a couple of days ago in Puerto Rico, the Arecibo Observatory collapsed.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So the Arecibo Observatory was one of the most powerful telescopes in the world.
Oh, wow.
It was in Puerto Rico. It's been in a bunch of movies. It was in Contact. It was in GoldenEye.
Okay.
It's very, very famous.
Okay,
and again, one of the most important telescopes in the world. And a couple of weeks ago, one of the cables snapped, and then this week it collapsed. And I kind of want to give a last soda to bring attention to that because, you know, not only because now the whole thing is because it's in Puerto Rico, who's going to pay for it? Is the American government going to pay for it? Is the Puerto Rican government going to pay for it?
Right.
Although,
who's responsible for it? Quote unquote.
Right, this whole thing, and that telescope. Not only was it renowned, you know, around the world, but it brought an insane amount of money to the economy in tourism, and also there were scientists around the world who would come in and work there. And live there, so it would add to the economy. Claro. So, you know, it's one of those losses that it's a great loss to, you know, the scientific community, but to the world in general.
Yeah,
because
the implication,
right, because this is something that's very important, and they've gotten a lot of data from that telescope. So, you know, for those of you who don't know about it, look it up. Arecibo telescope. It's ARECIBO. Telescope or observatory in Puerto Rico, and you'll see the pictures of it. It's awful that it collapsed, and it's something that people really need to know about it because, you know, again, it's a loss, I think, for humanity.
Yeah, it's not just about the space program.
I hate to end it in such a sour note, but you know, this is our platform and we're using it.
That's right. It's not a sour note. It's good. You're bringing attention to things that need attention brought to.
Yeah. So, one last thing.
Yeah.
So I think last week we spoke about how the Macy's parade had nobody there.
Yeah, I mean,
but somehow they pulled it off because
it was
it was
cute.
I'm looking forward to seeing New Year's Eve without nobody there.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
I think
Times
that's
Square.
Okay, if you come to think about
That's
it,
going to look apocalyptic.
yes, because I'm sure it's going to be lit. Like,
I mean, they'll
literally
be
lit.
Lit, yeah.
Like,
They'll be broadcasting because I'm
Yes.
sure like they'll still do the Los Estante, you know, with Anderson Cooper and El Bofe, and you know. And
it took me, when you said Anderson Cooper and Buffet, I thought Kathy Griffin, but then I thought, no, she's not a Buffet. It's,
it's El Otro.
you know, Steph's hero.
Exactly.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be like, cut to, and like how many platforms are you gonna have for the various performances?
I'm sure they'll have performances out there, and they'll probably have a few people, but I mean,
Yeah, but it'll be like cast and crew.
right, the point of Times Square is 1 billion people there.
If it wasn't for COVID, it would be the perfect time to go and do it.
Well, but for.
No, but I'm saying, you know, because there's nobody there.
So, anyway, still on my bucket list.
Me too.
And I know it's inconvenient. I know it's a pain in the ass.
The biggest pain in the ass for me about it is the bathroom situation.
Yeah.
Actually, you know that I had the opportunity to be in Times Square one time for New Year's Eve, and I couldn't do it.
Because of that.
No, because it was through Univision back when I was working in New York. Yes, exactly. One of my accounts was doing an integration. And so they were like, oh, well, you know, you can come and you can be in our studio and you can overlook Times Square. So I wasn't going to be like in Times Square, but I was going to be, you know, close enough. But, you know, I was actually down here with you.
You know where I really wanted to be? This ages us. I really would have wanted to be in like between 1998 and 2002 at the MTV studios ringing in the new year.
Oh, yeah.
On Times Square.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? They should dust that off for
With
this.
Carson Daly and...
Tara Reid?
No. What was a girl from MTV that she looked like Tatiana Ali?
Dallas?
No. She's from the 90s. This girl was from whatever. But that would have been fun. Because you know that like the singers would have been, you know.
Oh, so Tremendo Bayou. That would have been Tremendo Gelengue.
Blink 182 with like Britney Spears, Limp Bizkit, you know.
And if it was while
the
Britney was
Backstreet
dating
Boys,
Justin, you know, NSYNC was there
NSYNC,
too.
yeah,
Like,
you know.
yeah, that would have been, oh my God, what a great party.
Jessica Simpson.
With Nick Lachey.
Mandy Moore would have hosted. She wouldn't have sung, you know. And then you would have like the big iconic singer come, like Janet Jackson or whatever, you know.
Can we time travel?
Yeah, that's where I would always be like, that's where I want to be. Like now it's pathetic, but you know. Like,
I want to time travel and do that.
Yeah. So anyway, well, everybody,
on that note,
we hope you listened, laughed, and learned. Yeah, let's build a time machine, not to stop, you know,
Hitler
or like famine or
Nah.
like no, so we can
go
go
hang
back
out
to
with the pop stars of the late 90s.
So whatever. Everybody,
Priorities,
we
people.
hope you listened, laughed, and learned. And as always, grab your pastelito, your croqueta, and your cafecito. And thank you for joining us. That was episode
138.
Have a great Friday, a great weekend,
Cuídense, mi
everybody.
gente.
Bye.
Pero Let Me Tell You is co-hosted by Darian Borges and Ismaeliano, produced by Ismaeliano, and our theme, Pero Let Me Tell You Freestyle, is composed by Michael Angelo Lomlaplex, the official gay guy. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes.